points at half-time. Let's see if John Rogers had any luck in getting into the rooms. John?
Yes, Pete, it's difficult, but it wasn't too bad. Mick Malthouse was critical of his players because he believes that they're playing as if they expect to win the game without putting in the necessary effort. One of the areas that he was particularly critical of was the ease with which Essendon were able to bring the ball out of defence without the Eagles players shutting them down and trying to keep the ball in their forward line. He wants them to concentrate much more when they're shooting for goal, and he doesn't believe that they're getting enough run out of their players in the middle. As far as Sheedy is concerned, he was very, very upset with his players. He felt that they'd lost the game plan. That was to shut down the Eagles' runners. He believes that his players are being too indirect. They picked a tall side, and they've got to use the tall players by playing down the middle before the Eagles' defence can get back and pack it up.
Right, thank you, John. And still pretty hot conditions down there as we take a check now on the statistics for the second quarter.
Yes, and Essendon certainly had their share of the football there, but as John Rogers just said, they were too indirect. Some of their disposal was untidy, and they're winning certainly in the ruck, and their midfield players are doing very well, and the free kicks a little more even in that quarter.
And Madden is starting off in the ruck, Ross.
Yes, well,
Salmon down at full forward or forward pocket.
Well, his marking's been very good. Salmon's taken 7 for the game so far, so hopefully that gives him a strong target up there. Watson up there to complement him as well.
Umpire Rowan Saws about to start play. Windsock seems to have turned around a little bit, going towards the far pocket now. 14 points the difference as we begin the second half. The Eagles in front. Madden goes at it with Irving. Pios, a late inclusion in the Eagle side. Lewis has been pretty quiet, well held by Shane Hurd in the first half. O'Donnell, he gets a push in the back from McIntosh. And O'Donnell does the tidying up work. Well, no, he doesn't, because Lewis has taken the ball over the boundary line, and we'll see it thrown back into play right on the 50-metre mark. Rucks go at it again. Madden taps down. McMullen kicks smothered. Pike, Heady. Heady looks for the hand pass, only succeeds in finding Izard. Lovely smother by Pios. Thompson takes the rebound. Turley. Long misses it. Lamb. Spears in the pass to half forward. Gary O'Donnell nearly. Good knock on. Bounces kindly for Buick. Daryn Buick now on left centre wing with pace. Puts the Bombers back into attack. Up towards left half forward. Worsfold is there. And Mark's in front of play.
Some of the kicking. Goodness me.
You can't give the ball away as easy as that.
Carl Langdon. Right centre wing. Kemp is the target. He and Wanganeen.
Yeah, Robbo, when the ball's so hard to get, you can't afford to give it up like that, because the half-forwards are really being played very tightly by the Eagles half-backs, and they've just got to be given every chance.
So Wilson and Waters sitting on the bench. Madden. Almost a lazy kick from a standing start up in front of Somerville, who does keep it in play. Buick off the ground, and Turley ducks back to take a mark. No, he doesn't, says the umpire. Play on. And Long was ready. And Turley tries to tie it up. Should have nearly been penalised for it, but the umpire says a bounce.
I'd have paid the mark. There was a terrific effort by Turley. Twisting in the air and had a second grab at it. Now he'll get a chance. Irving shoving it straight down his throat there. The high kick goes back towards the wing. And Thompson, that was a real good mark. Terrific because mark. That ball just moving around with the breeze. Forced to kick with the left now, in towards centre-half forward. Somerville too late. Picking it off beautifully was Plain. Kick smothered magnificently by Pios. And this is a turnover that'll cost Essendon drastically. Up towards full forward. The ball punched away. They may still get out of trouble. The ball at half-back. Hurd gets his kick away. Johnston, who's not real quick over the ground. Neither is Terry Danaher, but they're going to get out of it. Handball over the top is for Anderson, and Anderson's got a chance to bounce the ball away from half-back. A second bounce takes him now close towards the centre, and he'll thump it long. The floating kick, Irving, penalised, could have been against Kickett. Kickett's pass, Watson taps it to his own advantage, but great play, McKenna. Still in the action, McKenna. No, Watson gets it to Plain. He's caught. Too slow. And great tackling by the Eagles' defence. Watson's kick to the front of the goals. Salmon, it's punched away by Jakovic. And fantastic play by McKenna. As we have a look at the Essendon bench, Wallace and Considine. Left forward pocket for the Bombers. They really need a goal here. Desperately. You feel as though the Eagles are getting on top. Back towards the centre. Wanganeen dives on it. Comes back towards Thompson. He's still got the football, Mark Thompson. He punched for goal. and it sits up and goes through for a goal to Essendon.
You can't ignore your friendly Retrovision store.
Now you can buy the phone of your choice from Retrovision. The Telecom touch phone stores up to 10 numbers, and this Telecom executive has 16 memories and hands-free operation. The GE Fashion Phone keypad lights up for easy use, while Panasonic's pocket-sized cordless has two-way page and intercom. Own your own phone and save $30 rental a year.
See a Retrovision store. They're just too big to ignore.
Thompson getting Essendon's goal, his first and the Bombers' fifth. And a great comeback after a knee reconstruction. Irving and Madden. Irving wins out at the end. Well, that's a magnificent roost right into the forward line, and soon it's nearly.
Push. Free kick against him for a push out.
Anderson will take it. Danaher. He's bringing it back.
I'm going to take it back over the mark. Sumic in getting Anderson on the ball, just gave him a push in the middle of the back. Here we go. There it is.
Kick in the meantime out to Madden, who lopes after it, gets around Brennan. Irving's there on centre wing in front of Somerville. Boundary throw at the follow in front of the main scoreboard. Familiar face here in Perth, Dennis Lilly. And it's almost cricket weather. Somerville. Kemp, well tackled Wanganeen. Ball's to be won, long, Turley. Over the top, Kemp kicks around his body and kicks well. Bouncing ball on centre wing, McMullen, favoured by it, runs into Langdon. Don't get past him easily. O'Donnell onto Hurd. Shane Hurd from half-back. Couple of years out of the fray and playing well. Good tagger's role, and he always picks up kicks. Lamb onto Izzard. A quick kick.
It was a clever kick in the end.
It was, as it turned out, the plane.
Yeah, I agree with that.
50.
Worsfold was
50.
not necessary. It was definitely not necessary.
Well, that should put him just about on the goal line, Robbo.
I'll tell you what, the player who picked up
There it is again.
Izzard.
Yeah, there it is. Definite 50. Unnecessary, Robert. Quite correct.
Gee, the player who picked up Izzard got him quick, didn't he?
Oh, yes, my word.
Was that Pios, was it?
Yes.
Whew, was he quick?
It was a clever kick, though, by Izzard in the end.
Yeah, I agree.
As Gary Ayres found out, he was quick last week. So Bradley Plain looks different, doesn't he, with short sleeve jersey? I think it's the first time I've ever seen him in one.
Yes, same here.
He's got a goal.
How could you stay away from Baby Bay? How could you stay away from Baby Bay? Living's never been so shipshape. Living on Baby Bay. How could you stay away from Baby Bay? Till you see it. How could you stay away from Baby Bay?
One of the few mistakes that John Worsfold has made all day. He's played pretty well. Irving doing well in the ruck now. Wanganeen's kick is short to half forward, still inside the centre square. Oh, that's a good mark. Some of it is. A one-hander. Hasn't really been prominent this afternoon. Can kick long. And does. Jakovic, good punch away. Oh, commitment shown there by Matera. Lewis comes out with the ball. His kick will almost find touch to the boundary line on centre wing. Izzard, good hand pass to the veteran Simon Madden, and Madden kicks long.
Madden's high kick to centre half forward, no mark taken. Turley gets back for the Eagles. Not a bad little kick either. The sun's shining in Waterman's eyes, but he's able to take the mark and kicks it to a vacant wing. Heady's the first out there. The ball bounces nicely for him. Gathers, short kick, and he kicked it straight to Kranzberg, who nearly played on, but now elects to go back and kick towards half forward where Buick marks. And really, Buick was a long, long way away from any opposition. Forced to play on now. Kicks it to centre half forward. Marking contest. Irving, good mark. Strong mark by the big fellow, getting back into the gap at centre half back. Short kick. Oh, awkward for Brennan. Watson, Lewis goes after it with very much desire. High kick off the left foot onto the wing. Bounces a long way away from Wilson and O'Donnell and goes over for boundary throw-in.
Interesting too, Robbo. Kevin She's elected to take Gary O'Donnell off Craig Turley and leave him in the back pocket. He's now picking up Peter Wilson, who's come on to replace Stephen Jackson. And Turley is on long.
Centre wing, Madden and McIntosh doing the ruck work. Ball bouncing from a couple of contests. Pios, Ford gets the handball away to McIntosh. McIntosh, the pass is too high. Anderson in the back, certainly, yes. Certain free kick to Sumic, and he gets up favouring his back, is it?
Yeah, he might have got just a bit of a knee in the lower half of the back there. Just watch this, just a gentle push there by Anderson, but you're in front, you give yourself a chance.
And he just propped, the kick was too high, so by propping, certainly made it difficult for Anderson to stop. And Anderson infringing, so Sumic will shoot from about 30 metres out directly in front. He's kicked 3. No trouble with the distance. And hoofs it a long, long way into the crowd. It looks pretty good. It's a goal.
The first person to save for a rainy day was smart enough to take 2 of everything. So if you're saving right now, why not take 2 as well? An extra 2% per annum with the bonus saver account from Westpac. No other bank gives you a bonus 2% interest when you're saving for a rainy day.
4 goals to Peter Sumic. 2 of those have come from free kicks. Back into the centre. Madden, Lewis, lost it. Lamb looks for Brennan, who traps the ball nicely inside the centre square. For half forward, Johnston and Heading.
Johnson just interfered there, pulled retarded Heading and then just pushed him a bit in the back.
Brett Heading, short of left half forward flank, centering kick from him. Sumic leads out beautifully. Now this will test his kicking. I wonder if he'll go the torpedo putt.
It's a lovely pass this, and Sumic just far too quick.
The breeze, well, a little bit behind him. We need to aim for the left goal post.
Oh, you'll get the distance, don't worry about that.
Well, he got the distance but not the accuracy, Robbo. Quite a low trajectory kick.
Kevin Sheedy's options at fullback are very limited, so what he's going to try and do if he's persevering with Anderson and have his players fill that gap that Sumic is running into.
Well, they've only kicked 7 and he's kicked 4. So it really is a key position on the field at the moment, isn't it?
My word.
Terry Danaher, now 300 games, one of 27 players in AFL ranks to have done that in footy. Thompson and Langdon. Thompson's kick, not too many options open for him, out of bounds on centre wing. And there is the windsock, not tied down. I'm actually told that some wag got over the fence early this morning and did tie it down, but blowing freely in the breeze now, just a breeze. Somerville tries to find Kickett. Waterman gets there first, but the boundary line is too close. Somerville probably gaining about 15 metres for his team. Trailing at the moment 43 to 52. Excellent game of football, very tiring conditions for the players. Lamb looks for Kemp, comes to Kickett. Over the head of Long. Pios, deceptively quick. McKenna, gets taken high by Izzard. Umpire says play on, and the Eagles will get out of danger. And in fact, they go into attack. McIntosh, was he held? Gransberg, Langdon comes at him. Wild hand pass. Thompson was able to do the tidying up, and Essendon might get out of danger here, but not a good hand pass from Danaher into a pack of players. Watson, well tackled, brilliantly tackled by Lewis. Wilson around Danaher. Matt in trouble. Good tackle by Danaher. The ball spills free again. Thompson can't get clear. Crowd looking for a free kick, but there is going to be a bounce.
Great pressure, wasn't it?
Oh, it was great stuff. The Eagles, from that distance, if they get through, could nearly get a goal, and Essendon, on the other hand, could have mounted something. From half back, Buick dispossessed. Away goes McKenna. His kick slews off the side of his boot, close to the boundary line, and it bounces over for a boundary throw-in. Right forward pocket for the Eagles, about 30 metres around from their goal. Supporters fairly pleased with themselves. Their team lead by 9 points. 52 to 43. Rough contest, and it's knocked back over.
You really sense the stings around this game a bit too, Robbo, and Essendon are almost playing catch-up football. given they are behind, but they just don't have anyone that's going to break free and just create something for them.
About 30 metres from the Eagles' goal. McIntosh doing the ruck work. McMullen can't get away, but he gets the handball to Johnston. In turn to Cransberg, and he was hemmed in, and the kick was touched off the boot. So we'll have another boundary throw in. Very close to the 50-metre line. No, it's going back probably to where Cransberg was. And
Considine ready to come back on.
Ed Considine, the Essendon interchange player. And it's punched back close to the boundary line once again. So something will have to be done here because the play is being bottled up in that right forward pocket for the Eagles. Madden, McIntosh in front. Does a good job, McIntosh, doesn't he, for a young player? Terry Danaher with the football underneath. Back goes Hurd with strength. Wanganeen in there.
Free kick
and a
Hurd.
free kick. Well, eventually the umpire had to do it. Ross, I mean,
unnecessary by
ridiculous.
Wilson. Yeah, look, it's
But the play being
to
bottled
clear it
up
up,
there,
certainly.
to get it out a bit. And Hurd will kick it out for Essendon from the back pocket. Done a terrific job on Lewis. High kick, holds up in the breeze. And Brennan nearly takes a good mark. The ball is pushed over. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Right half forward for the West Coast Eagles.
Somerville and McIntosh. Somerville gets there first. McMullen hemmed in right on the boundary line. Hugs the boundary line with the kick and kick it. Pretty quick hand pass on a Bradley plane. Like a knock-on in rugby league. Oh, he's kicked it badly. Pike, Long, a chance. Hasn't had too many today, Michael Long. Shrugs that tackle. On to kick it. Into an open goal. Should kick it and does.
To develop the most advanced four-wheel drive in the world, we tested it in the most rugged country on earth.
So Derek Kickett getting his second goal, and 3 points the difference here at Subiaco. Pios hacks it out of the centre, up to half forward, marking contest, knocked to the ground by Cransberg, and then a deft little toe poke, but it doesn't go Essendon's way. It's picked up by Dwayne Lamb. The bounce all important here. Johnston eventually, back Thompson, around Henny, Anderson leading Sumic in the race for the ball, but it is out of bounds.
Good kick in the end because he had no one to go. The kick further down the field was under pressure. It was well done by Thompson.
And I thought Henny did a good job to
just
force him
push
into
him that
position,
way. That's
didn't
right.
he?
Well, he's on his right foot, the left.
Yep.
Did it well.
Wilson over the top, can't take the ball. Essendon under pressure across half-back. Away goes Buick, good pressure by McIntosh. And it was a good contest there. The ball still with Buick. He's held. Can he be penalised? Yes, he can. Now the Eagles' advantage. Kicked away by Lamb, up towards full forward. Oh, Langdon at the back, the ball carried for him, and he took an easy mark on his chest.
See a few spectators there for the Essendon side. They're just not looking around. No one's really prepared to stand on the mark. A good kick by Lamb, just carried the pack, and Langdon running freely. I think Bomber Thompson at the moment is his marksman. Too far away, and Madden's off the ground, Considine on.
Langdon directly in front, hooks the kick. Oh, it's close. It's behind. And that's a bad miss. There's been a couple of very ordinary shots at goal by Simon Madden early in the game. And speak of the devil, there's Simon walking around the boundary line to take a little spell on the interchange bench with 11 and a half minutes left in the quarter. But I was going to say that he missed a couple of easy ones in the first quarter.
As did Guy McKenna.
And McKenna running into an open goal, so it's probably about a line ball now, Ross, isn't it, with bad shots for goal. Kick in comes to this near side. Essendon are in trouble here. No, a little fortuitously, goes to Watson. Kicks it in towards the centre. McMullen will have to run harder than that. Turley beats him for it easily. Turley runs around. Short kick, not bad. Mark is taken by Irving. Plays on. Irving's kick to full forward. Sumic! A great mark at the back. Had Peter Sumic written on that, not Tommy Sheeran. And a fantastic mark by the champion West Coast Eagles full forward.
Good set up there for Anderson. Couldn't do much about it. In the front posse, Sumic has had that 3 or 4 step run up. A good clean grab.
It's amazing how many things stem from just a little bit of lack of determination at the footing.
Yep, my word.
Back in the centre. Sumic from 20 metres out directly in front. that? Gee, that's close too. Well, chances going begging here for the Eagles. 4-3 to Peter Sumich. 7-12 plays 7-7.
You only need a half-hearted commitment, Robbo, as you mentioned, on a half-back line by your forwards, and all of a sudden the ball rebounds so quickly and you're in stride. I mean, the forwards just must work so hard.
It's concentration and discipline, isn't
Well,
it?
it's
Very
just-
much.
It's who's prepared to go for the footy the most.
Anderson kicks in, 5 points the difference. The Eagles ball again, Pios or Lewis on his own.
We had Lewis or Heady, one of those two.
Somerville was ordinary in the contest.
He's
Chris
been too
Lewis.
worried about fighting the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Well, within kicking distance. He'll be kicking from about 45 metres, so distance shouldn't be a problem. And this breeze pretty well at his back. Split the middle.
Friday the 30th of August is Red Nose Day. Buy your Red Nose at any participating BP service station and help the National Sudden Infant Death Syndrome Council fight cot death.
This man has just had his windscreen replaced by a discounter. If only he'd seen the specialist instead.
Get me windscreens, O'Brien.
There's no point crying, call windscreens, O'Brien.
Better value, guaranteed.
Now 11 points the difference. It's Irving out of the centre. On to Peter Matera. And a beautiful kick. 2-on-1 in favour of Essendon. Watson to Cransberg. And Cransberg will have to be quick. Wilson's just about got him. Good pressure though. Pios has taken the ball out in front of Alan Izard. Boundary throw in left half forward flank for the Eagles. 9.5 minutes left in the third term. Kevin Sheedy maybe a little bit worried at the moment.
Very important 9 minutes for Essendon, I feel.
Yes. Salmon has done well. Lewis. We get another possession. That's out on the full, is it? No? Gee, it looked close.
I would have picked it from here on the full, certainly, with the umpires in good position.
Billy Duckworth, familiar face. Like him out there at the moment. Premiership player with the Bombers.
10 years younger, they would have.
Yeah. Lewis again. O'Donnell. Nearly caught. Lamb. Is he out of bounds? That kick's likewise smothered. Pios can't get clear. Good pressuring by both sides. Now Essendon has the chance. Izard. Underground kick. He's been watching Peter Dacos. And Jakovic almost scores a try. That's out deliberately. Is it not? No.
There wasn't much he could do.
No,
was he?
true.
About half a metre inside the boundary line. Prostrate on his stomach.
Has to get back quickly for the throw-in against Somerville. McKenna on to Kemp. Quick hand pass. Danaher runs into Jakovic. Or Kemp at his own player. Comes out to Wilson. Up the kicker goal. Peter Wilson goes long and gets a great kick.
Got a call from Mr. Fryer, he's bringing round a buyer. The kitchen looked a fright from the little do last night. Although I felt quite sickly, I had to clean it quickly. With spray and wipe all purpose, I cleaned up every surface. Spray and wipes a breeze, 'cause it cuts through toughest grease. The kitchen's sparkling clean, and the buyer's very keen. So thank you. Spray and wipe.
8 minutes left in the third quarter, and the Eagles lead by 17 points, and the big chant coming out. Salmon back in the ruck. Hurd gets the tap down. Up towards half forward. Brennan does it pretty well. The bouncing ball was awkward, but he controlled it beautifully in the finish. Up towards half forward. Heady now in front of Johnston, and he slips the tackle. Round onto the right foot goes Brett Heady. In towards full forward. Subic! Anderson punches the ball from behind. Kickett gets back to help out. Lamb puts good pressure on Anderson. Kick towards the boundary line. Is that a mark for Matera?
Hasn't paid it.
Hasn't paid it. Play on. Playing. Handballs it over the boundary line, and umpire Sheehan says throw it in. And there's a few fans here with yellow and blue streamers who disagree with that. Well, he didn't quite control it.
Good decision.
Boundary throw in, right half forward for the Eagles. Wilson over the top. Ball comes to the ground. Plain kicks it in towards the wing, and Somerville will take the free kick, being held by the jumper. Looking to give the hand pass away. Instead, he kicks it to centre half forward. Considine tries to tap it to his own advantage, and he's got it. But the hand pass, Buick over the top. Izard. Look at Pios. He's terrific. Down goes Izard. Play on. No advantage to Essendon. Surely it must be a free kick.
Yeah, no, it's going to go back because Pios tried to tap the ball over the head of Izard, and in fact got Izard, watch this, just quickly try to tap the ball back and infringe.
Yes, I don't think, I'm a little bit of you, Ross. I think he was certainly having a go at the football, and the free kick will go to Izard. He's up on his feet, he looks okay, so nothing malicious. The kick falls in short. Turley, strong! Certainly a mark. Well done, Craig Turley. Had the shackles around him earlier. The kick goes wide. Batira, Salmon, little tap over the top. Chance for Kickett. Hand pass wide. He's got a player, Cransberg. He'll be run down by Waterman. Too slow. Back to Kickett. You must kick it. Now he will with that left foot. And long towards centre half forward. Somerville in front, can't mark. Ball comes to the ground. McKenna in there. Helped out by Lamb. They're hunting in numbers, and that's what good sides do. But Lamb's hit Izard on the chest, and Dwayne Lamb wouldn't be happy with that.
I don't know why Alan Izard's getting booed. He was the one that was on the end of that play. He got the free kick. Pios. Good tackle by McMullen. Comes to Izard again. Short kick, and beautifully delivered. Now Essendon with a chance through Somerville.
Pretty good kick here for Somerville. He gets a goal, he just gets them back in the game.
They need one. They trail 66 to 49.
But also the lowness of the scores certainly doesn't, the team behind, when there's low scores, that really they don't get a long way behind, do they?
And Peter Somerville hasn't really been able to play that much this afternoon. 48 metres out. No, same trouble that Simon Madden had in the first quarter. And he missed quite a few from a similar distance. Guy McKenna away from Wanganeen.
Gee, that was a great punch from the goal line.
Matera. Away he goes. A West Coast speedster on the boundary line on the outer side. Langdon! Miles in front of his opponent. Not a great kick though by Carl Langdon. Obviously intended for Sumic, but a badly delivered shot.
Yes, he obviously knew that Sumic was in the lead there, just kicked the ball there too early. But again, the half forwards of Essendon far too lazy there, just not picking up their players, not prepared to run and chase.
9-12 to 7-7 the score. Round 23 from Subiaco. Salmon, a backhander. Too many Eagles there. Kemp, no.
Cransberg get the free kick. The player held him out of the contest.
It looked like a shepherd. Umpire obviously closer than we are. Intended for Somerville. It beats Ian Jakovic over the boundary line for a throw-in. It looks like Al Jolson. 4.5 minutes left in the third term.
Again, a poor kick, Ross, wasn't it, by Cransberg?
Just gives his teammate no chance whatsoever.
Lamb gets the handball away. Chance now for Kemp, was it, or Waterman? Up towards full forward. Sumic round onto the left foot. He's kicked another one. Miraculous shot for goal.
There too, Robbo, with the Essendon players. Quite a number of them after they kick with their heads down low, almost conceding.
Well, it has been a very important quarter in football for a long, long time, and this is no exception. Gee, this guy's a good player, Matera. And watch this. He's hit a bloke on the chest. 40 metres away, it's Lamb. Handball, nicely. Waterman, who's running from the back line, onto the favoured left foot. The kick goes higher than what he would have liked. In towards full forward. The ball bouncing. Anderson for Essendon. Just gets his right foot to the ball. Goes past Izard, Pios, and it goes over. And we'll have a boundary throw in left half forward for the Eagles.
Interesting too, Robbo, that Kevin Sheedy's had Bradley playing on material, whether to make him work hard, because he's certainly not a running player, Bradley playing.
Salmon does well, takes it out of the air and kicks it towards the wing. Bounces very awkward for Hurd, and Turley does well. Shrugs the tackle, kicks it in towards full forward. Langdon! And could have nearly been paid. Goes after it again, still got the footy, hooks it around his body, and Anderson can't mark. Sumic could kick another one. 6 goals to Sumic, and that takes his tally for the year to 91. A great performance by the full forward, Eagles 11-12, Essendon 7-7.
Good recovery here by Langham. Trapped the ball in. Kransberg, a very ordinary effort there to get the footy. And here, Greg Anderson got up, just looking at the umpire, looking for a bit of a free kick there, but just the ball favouring Subiaco behind there and finished off. Third goal in this quarter.
6 goals for Peter Subiaco, and the Eagles asserting their authority and supremacy once more. They wear sides down here at Subiaco. Jakovic, McKenna, like a training drill. Wilson in front of Johnston. Anderson this time in front. O'Donnell, left half-back flank for the Bombers. They need a goal quickly before three-quarter time. Thompson, who has kicked one for them in this term, but repeatedly during the game they've broken down at half-forward. Kevin Egan and Kevin Sheedy will have a few worries at the moment. Somerville, amongst a nest of Eagles. Lamb, lightning hand pass. Johnston, Matera, Wilson again. Kemp at half-forward. Matera still going. Kicks right on 50. Salmon in the goal square will mark. Done well, Paul Salmon. Looks for Hurd. Lewis wearing in closely. Could have given away a free kick. Hurd paddles the ball out wide to the taller player. Lewis applies the tackle. Back to Hurd. McIntosh, it was, did well, but the ball is out of bounds.
Hey, there was a couple of blue and yellow jumpers that did very well in that. Lewis was fantastic. McIntosh in the finish, just to keep the ball in. And Ross, that's what you're saying about Essendon at the other end. They don't work hard.
No, they don't at all. No, they're prepared just to let the backs run the ball out.
So Essendon's season may well depend on next week against Hawthorn. They're going to get beaten here today. Somerville and Salmon, the two Bombers fly together, and the big fish has been paid the mark.
I tell you what, Peter, on both teams' form at the moment, Essendon today and Hawthorn yesterday over Carlton did it very easily. It's going to be a tough game for Essendon.
Especially after today. Hard ground, hot afternoon. Oh, Matera. They're looking to fit a combination up, mate. Matera.
My word.
On to Brett Heady. Past Wanganeen. The pass is on. Into space comes Subiaco. Anderson wearing him closely. Subiaco taps out beautifully for McKenna, who can kick long on the run, and does, but kicks inaccurately for only one behind.
Again, that was terrific work by Subiaco.
Just prepared to give his teammates a chance, yes.
Well, he's kicked 6, and that kick took him a long, long way from goal, but still able to do the discipline, small things to help your team win. The tap to the advantage of McKenna. 11-13 plays 7-7. They lead by 5 goals. Kick in, goes to their far side. Punch away. Wilson can't do anything. And the ball goes over for boundary throw-in.
Interesting too, Robbo, with Guy McKenna being perhaps one of the most skillful players in the AFL. If you had a bloke running at him, he could put the ball on his chest. But when he has a shot at goal, the two stationary sticks, he just can't, just not accurate.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? Boundary throw-in. Chance here for Danaher. Knocked over by his own man. Bit of a dust-up. Wilson and kick it. And a free kick is coming out of it. And it's going to the Eagles to be taken by Kemp. Lewis looking for the lead on Anderson.
There's a bit of
Should have been a free kick. Yes, I agree with that.
There you go. Well, there was shepherding done early. It was well done by Subiaco to allow Lewis to break free from Hurd. And then Anderson, of course, infringing there in the free kick. This could really break Essendon's back if it's not already broken.
Well, I think 5 goals is a big ask for them. But Lewis could make it 6 goals a difference going into the last quarter. Lewis is only about 30 metres out, but the wind certainly in his favour. So distance not a problem, and accuracy is perfect. So Chris Lewis kicks his second goal, both coming in the third term. And at three-quarter time, the Eagles lead by 36 points, 12-13 to 7-7.
To build a vehicle of power and refinement requires great perseverance. Here is a car for those who admire similar qualities. Between Australia and Japan, the new Verada V6. Please consider.
How could you stay away from Raby Bay?
How would you like to fly for free? Ansett Australia introduces Ansett Frequent Flyer. Now you can earn points every time you fly with Ansett Australia or their partner airlines. Stay at participating hotels like Hyatt or Park Royal for more points. Hire an Avis car, more points. And use your Diners Club card for any purchase to earn even more points. Then you simply trade in your points for free air travel, free upgrades, free holidays, free car rental, free accommodation, or choose from the exciting merchandise in the Ansett Frequent Flyer catalogue. Start earning your points now by phoning 008 022 400 for instant membership. It costs just $30 to join. Ansett Frequent Flyer, Australia's richest airline award program. Join now.
Drive into Midas anytime this month and have us check your brakes because it's the Midas Giant Brake Sale. That means we'll reline your brakes, front or rear, for just $99. You'll get a written quote, work done by trained specialists using premium quality parts and a nationwide guarantee. You just can't take chances with your brakes, and you don't need to during a Midas Giant Brake Sale. So for brakes, exhaust or shocks, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
The Midas Giant Brake Sale $99 reline. Hurry.
The trouble with living in suburbia is that no matter how you look at it, it's still suburbia. For under $175,000 for a waterfront home site and a place to moor your boat, how could you stay away from Raby Bay?
And welcome back to Subiaco. Scores at three-quarter time showing the Eagles in front by 36 points. And they look like perhaps going right through season 1991 undefeated at home. Still 1 quarter to go though. Peter Simic so far has 6 goals.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1991 AFL Premiership season.
Big sport coming up in the summer, of course, the Ford Australian Open, and tickets are now available for the tennis. By calling the phone numbers on screen, you can purchase either a single session ticket or one of the 5 different types of series tickets that are now available. And a reminder too, don't forget the World Athletics Championships continuing tonight from Tokyo. Check your local guides for telecast details of our highlight packages. And looking ahead, next Sunday, September 1, the men's marathon will be telecast as a Sports World special, and it will be coming in live. We're all looking forward to that. Should be a beauty. Steve Monaghetti, I'm sure, is going to run well. Okay, the other match being played today is at the Western Oval, Footscray and Melbourne. We're going to be showing you the three-quarter time scores. If you don't wish to see them, look away. Here they are. And don't forget too that Melbourne and Adelaide viewers will be taking a replay of that game immediately following the conclusion of this match here at Subiaco. Let's see what the coaches had to say. Here's John.
Yes, Pete, Kevin Sheedy, as you can understand, not very happy with the way his side went. Words like discipline, run, chase, endeavour, pride in themselves were the words that he was using. He was critical of the fact that the Eagles were able to bring the ball out of defence too easily, and also the fact that Langdon was getting so much room to move around in the forward line, and he wants his backs and his forwards to be more creative and the backs to tighten up particularly. Mick Malthouse was at pains to remind his side that you can't win a game of football with 1 quarter. They must continue to be first to the ball. They've got to convert the opportunities that present themselves and be creative in the forward line. He was pleased with the defence and the way they played in that quarter. He wants them to keep up the pressure and press home their advantage.
Right, thanks, John. And players taking up their positions now for the resumption of play in the final quarter. Essendon trailing by 36 points.
And again, they're just a perfect example of statistically where Essendon have had their fair share of the footy, almost the same number of touches each, but the Eagles just using it far more effectively. Michael Long hobbled off the ground too after the three-quarter time break, as did Carl Langdon.
So a vital quarter for Essendon. They trail by 6 goals, and it's a rather difficult ask to see the Bombers getting back into this match. However, they'll give it their best shot, that's for sure. Thompson. They have got the assistance of a slight breeze. Kickett and Waterman. Horsfall. On to Pios. Kemp calls for it, but he decides to ignore him and go a lot longer. Kransberg and McIntosh. Jackson. And Jackson's kick ineffective. It's out of bounds. Left half forward flank for the Eagles. Very warm conditions in Perth. So really It's going to be a survival test out there. The legs get a lot heavier in this quarter. Madden. Wilson. O'Donnell's got him. Eddie. Danaher now on Sumic, is he?
Yes.
Looks that way. He's played full-back before. Kransberg dragged off the ball. Did he have it? No, says the umpire. Free kick. And Tim Watson will come back and give the ball to his teammate, Peter Kransberg.
Good little bit of play there by Wilson, because if Watson had got away, it would have been an advantage.
O'Donnell. Well, he'll have to be quick to get around McIntosh. He has to go backwards now. Gary O'Donnell, he's lost it. But McIntosh has picked it up. Excellent pressuring. Coaches love that. And McIntosh in the end
there is
taking the ball out of
thing
bounds.
there that O'Donnell
Had
doesn't
nowhere
like
to go.
to kick to the right.
That's right, and he also didn't have many options, but he should have just kicked it anyway. He was under pressure. I mean, McIntosh is possibly the quickest bloke on the Eagles side.
Peter Matera might take it to task on that one. Be an interesting race. Speaking of speed, Wilson, Lewis, bang goes another one. That could just about be the ball game. Lewis and Wilson combining brilliantly. The Eagles get their 13th, 91 plays 49.
Yes, and the Eagles running over to congratulate McIntosh on the pressure there that he put on O'Donnell. And here Wilson, again the pace, that's just an example of the pace that the Eagles have. And a few other sides, perhaps only Geelong and possibly Collingwood having a similar sort of pace.
13-13, plays 7-7. Start of the last quarter. So Essendon looking down the barrel at a sizable defeat here. Madden gets a big punch towards half forward. Kick it in front. Takes it back the other way. Breaks the tackle. Watson's got the football underneath. His kick is smothered off the boot. Chance now for the Eagles. Rebound is brilliant. Brennan went to Matera. Matera didn't mess around. He kicked it long and direct. O'Donnell's back. Away to Danaher. Short to Johnston. Over the top to O'Donnell. O'Donnell's short kick finds Izard, and they had about 6 possessions to get out of trouble. Considine, don't fumble, you're in trouble. And just sheer persistence. Heady, space, unbelievable there by Considine. Turley, kick goes through. McIntosh, he'll kick a goal. It'll bounce through, no, it's the post.
Just shows you desperation. Great smother by Matera, and all of a sudden his side's got a shot at goal.
What about Considine down there?
Look, well, he got put under pressure anyway. The handball shouldn't have gone to him in the first place. You are allowed to kick the footy.
Danaher kicks it into himself. The bounce is awkward for him. Then he kicks it long, outside 50 metres. Considine and Jackson. Jackson does well. Lamb will pump it back. Marked it, Wilson. Well, the dam wall has got a few big cracks in it, and there's water seeping through.
Again, no one within 15 metres of Peter Wilson.
I think you might almost say the floodgates, Robbo, perhaps.
They're nearly open, Pete. Wilson from 30 metres, slight angle. Players have had a little bit of trouble kicking goals from this side. Wilson makes no mistake, straight through the centre.
If you thought Anthony Hopkins was electrifying in Silence of the Lambs, wait till you see the sequel to Barbara Taylor Bradford's masterpiece.
The woman I'm about to possess, and the woman I will soon destroy.
Will a jealous cousin claw his way back into the Hart Empire?
I think we've been set up, Mrs. O'Neill.
He'll use affairs, deception, and murder to set the trap.
You swallowed the bait.
The conclusion to Woman of Substance and Hold the Dream is here.
Oh, I've waited for this.
Coca-Cola presents Barbara Taylor Bradford's To Be the Best, tonight on 7.
Wilson's second goal, 49 points the difference. Turley scrambles it from mid-air to half forward. Wilson, again he's got the chance. Izard taken out of it by Jackson. Kicks into the forward pocket. Sumic, almost a mark to Hurd. He tries for the boundary line. Pressure by Lewis. Anderson, great tackle Lewis, and the ball is out of bounds in front of Shane Hurd. And that pressure that the Eagles are applying is magnificent. The Bombers really having to earn every kick. Jackson and Madden, the two number 27s go at it. Madden over the top to Thompson. Where's the bump? Well, been a great little try this afternoon. All clean bowls, everybody out there on the wing. Worsfold leading in the race for the ball from McMullen. Gets it back, tries to find Irving, couldn't do so. Kick it, doubles back, doesn't get it. Might be a free kick for holding the man. This time, no. Umpire says play on. Waterman still does that. Kemp. Irving and McMullen. And the big fellow bends down well. Relays the hand pass, and the Eagles are again out of danger. Up towards Wilson. Anderson, who had the job on Peter Sumich for a while. McMullen and Waterman. McMullen paddles it in front of him. Nowhere to go. Again, the pressuring of the Eagles. Excellent. The kick off the side of the boot, marked by Don Pike. Centering kick from him. Straight down the corridor. Lamb takes the hand pass. And Dwayne Lamb streaming downfield. Here he goes. Edge of the square. Long kick. Low trajectory one, certainly. Danaher picks it up well. He's got the job on Sumich at the moment. Izard coming in for the boos of the crowd. Why, I've got no idea.
I think they assumed that he staged that free kick that
he certainly
got
didn't.
after the P. I think no, he certainly didn't.
So boundary throw in, knocked away by Madden under Bradley Plain. Centering kick from him, and Gary O'Donnell takes the mark in front of Dwayne Lamb. Out onto Anderson.
Away to Anderson. Anderson's long kick towards full forward. Marking contest back there, and it's taken cleanly by Salmon.
It's the only opportunity
really
they've got, Robert.
Yes.
It was a good mark, and the kick didn't favour him, but he put himself in position, and once he gets those arms up, Jakovic could have gone for the arm, but just not quite tall enough.
And really, when you think about it, Ross, it's the only chance that they've had to deliver the ball quickly.
That's right,
yep. Line, hasn't it? The Eagles have been terrific in defence and in the middle of the field at putting enormous pressure on.
Correct.
Salmon from 40 metres out. The kick is away to the right, I feel, and it's through for a behind.
There's some pride of going to full forward, Robbo. Salmon had been a fair performer. Statistically, 10 marks, 13 kicks and 6 handballs. A fair effort from the big fella.
Brennan back there to kick the ball back in, comes to the near side. Irving does pretty well. Watson taps it on. Izard back to Watson. Watson always under a little bit of pressure from Matera. Up towards full forward. The ball at the back. Kickett's a chance. Can't quite control the football, and it goes over for a boundary thrown in the left forward pocket for Essendon. They trail 7-8 to 14-14. That's a difference of 8 goals in the Eagles' favour.
Yes, 48 points. 8 goals doesn't sound as much. Scramble on the back line. The Eagles defence rock-like all day. Madden doesn't get the bounce he would have wanted. Izard, busy. Centering kick, smothered beautifully. Heady takes the hand pass. That was well done from Lamb. Looks for McIntosh. Sits beautifully for him at half forward. Low trajectory kick into Sumich. He gets a push in the back from Terry Danaher. Right in front of the crowd. So the obvious result is a free kick, and Peter Sumich will kick at goal number 7. He's got 2 from frees already. And coming in for kick number 12. He's taken 5 marks. His favoured pocket, the right-hand one. So he'll hook the ball back with the left foot. Distance shouldn't be a problem. Draws it back beautifully, but not enough.
Gee, I wish some of my shots at golf could be drawn back like that.
Not likely to happen, Robbo, is it?
Oh, it was a great kick. You just misjudged it ever so slightly.
49 points the difference. Cransburg, oh, gee. Madden. Nice ball. Haven't really gained too much. Anderson can't take it. Considine and Pios. Anderson from Jackson. Thompson onto Watson. Late tackle Lamb. Not too late for a free kick though. Up to half forward for Essendon. Bounce doesn't favour McMullen. Kicker nearly caught with the ball. Umpire says free kick Waterman.
And another good player, Waterman for the Eagles.
Brennan. Or Worsfold it is rather. Oh, Kemp gets taken out. That was a bad.
It was actually. He jumped off the ground. Was it Wanganeen that came through? Watch this again. He jumped off the ground.
No love lost between that pair all day.
So I tell you what was the free kick for?
Too high, I think.
Unduly rough play, perhaps.
That's right. Well, it's bordering, isn't it?
Actually got 2 players. Then he got Izard as well.
He got his own mate, yes.
Turley. Will the ball sit for him? It does. Around Thompson. On to Wilson. The coaster's clear. Away he goes. And long into the square. Anderson drops back nicely to take the mark in front of Chris Lewis.
Greg Anderson, who usually plays on the wing for Essendon, has been given a defensive role by Kevin Sheedy. Sumic a key player. Lamb too easily there. O'Donnell. Wayne Lamb, who started on the interchange bench and came onto the ground in the second term. Lovely long kick to the front of the goal square. Madden gets back, can't mark. Turley may even kick a goal. No, Lewis over his shoulder and misses to the right. 3 goals, 1 to Chris Lewis. And actually, he's come into the play a lot too, Ross, hasn't he? He was kicked out of it early by Hurd, wasn't it, that picked him up?
Yes, he's come back. He's got 10 and 2, 10 kicks, 2 handballs.
Ball back into play. Brennan almost. Won't matter, he's got the free kick. Too far out to score. Umpire Brian Sheed indicating where the mark is. Kick number 7 for Brennan. Reading it better as Wilson. And very unselfish play. Spotted Pios. Excellent vision. And Pios has a chance to register his first goal. 14 and a half minutes left. And we spoke about a trickle in the dam wall. Well, the floodgates aren't perhaps too far from opening if Pios can drill this one through. He's had 15 kicks so far.
How do you keep him out? Well, that's the thing they've got, you see, Rob. It's a perfect example of how. That's right. It's a good example of the depth that is there.
A late inclusion for Chris Mainwaring. A magnificent kick distance-wise, and he's got the accuracy as well.
When you first buy a home, you don't really own very much of it, do you? But if you have a Westpac home loan, you can own more of your home much sooner. You can reduce the term of your loan without increasing the amount of your repayments. You can even vary your loan at any time to suit your changing circumstances. Just talk to your Westpac branch about these and other ways you can own your home sooner.
You can bank on us.
56 points the difference now in favour of the Eagles. Lamb, short kick out of the centre to half forward. And Brett Heady taking the mark in front of Johnston. Again, too far out to score. Sumic on a lead. How do you stop the Eagles at home?
Sorry, Pete. As soon as Heady took that chest mark, Sumic was in the square. He took off. There was space there. No one from Essendon realised that. And there's that mark.
Pedestrian stuff, wasn't it, Ross?
Well,
from the centre.
You know, see, players just got to realise it's going to happen. I mean, they're looking for a target. That target is Sumic. It's not all that complicated.
For goal number 7. Right on 50. Out he goes. Hooks it back. And hit the post.
It's 6-5 his kick, Peter.
6-5. 11 effective shots out of the Eagles' tally of 15-17. 57 points the difference.
He's had 6 marks, 13 kicks, 1 hand pass. But more importantly, he's kicked 6 goals. The kick in is marked by Thompson at half back, looking to play on. Now he can get away and kick it in towards the centre. Salmon punched away nicely by Jakovic. Comes to O'Donnell, goes back, no one there for Essendon. Kemp is there and he's recovered nicely from the Wanganeen clash earlier and gives it to McKenna, who in turn hits Wilson on the chest. And the Eagles looking a complete football side leading up to the finals. 1 game to go and they will launch themselves into a very important campaign after that. Up towards full forward. Lewis leaves it. Natira quick. Oh, he's held by Hurd, surely. No umpiring decision given there either. Sheehan was only about 10 metres away. Ball in the forward pocket. Turley and Wanganeen. And the umpire calls for a boundary throw-in. 12 minutes left in the match. And the Eagles have got all the answers. 15-17 plays 7-8.
Considine. On to McMullen. McMullen from half-back. Hawthorn and Geelong will be wondering how do you stop the Eagles. Terry Danaher couldn't pick it up. Irving can. Over the top of McMullen. Tried for Wilson. Gets him ultimately. And Wilson's kick very close to the boundary line. Doesn't bounce too kindly for Matt McIntosh. Gives the hand pass away to Heady. They'll get another one.
Friday the 30th of August is Red Nose Day. Buy your red nose at any participating BP service station and help the National Sudden Infant Death Syndrome Council fight cot death.
What is in the black box?
Hey, what is this?
It's a box.
What's in
What prizes lurk in the black box? Breakfast with Kim and Jill on 6.93 4KQ and win the big surprise.
Brett Heady getting his second goal, and the Eagles have got their fourth in the last quarter. By contrast, the Bombers have added only one behind. So the heat taking its toll. Pike, fresh air shot pretty well. Buick kicks from a standing start up towards half forward, and Terry Danaher takes the mark.
He's just moved down there, Pete, and they've got Anderson back at fullback.
Yes, he had a short stint there. So Sumic has had 4 opponents today. I think Peter Kransberg was only on him for about 5 minutes, but numerically that's correct. Kickett has taken the mark right on the line. Decides to play on. Makes some space. Kicks at goal. Goal umpire says one behind.
The applause is for Dean Irving, who's come off the ground, and Scott Waters has gone back on.
He's a good player, Irving, Ross.
It's one of his better games too. He's got a bit of a nick under the left eye, but his work around the ground has been a lot better than what it has been the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Much improved player, I think, isn't he, too? Waterman kicks in, goes to the outer side. The target is Brennan. He finds him without too many problems, and Brennan kicks to centre wing. Pios and McMullen. It's Pios that wins out. As I said before, deceptively quick for a guy of his size. Wilson and Thompson. He's got backup support from Lamb. Doesn't really need it, Peter Wilson. Considine getting underneath a real hospital job and succeeds in taking the mark and brings the ball out wide to the wing.
Danaher marks over Matera, and Matera just getting hold of his jumper. Holds Terry Danaher up between half-back and centre wing. Kick in towards the centre. No mark. Somerville. Oh, nearly doing it well was Brennan, but he's helped out by Matera. Matera's kick into the pocket. A little too far for Heady. Keeps the ball in play, though. Back over the top. Johnston. Oh, Heady did very, very well. Oh, terrific stuff by Brett Heady. They're 10 goals in front, and he's not giving up at all. Anderson at fullback under pressure comes away for Essendon. The kick, a little ordinary, and a great mark taken by Matera, but what fantastic play by Heady when you're 10 goals in front, back there at half forward. Matera has the football between wing and half forward.
Terry Danaher is off.
They look a little weary. Torpedo punt kick by Matera. Floats up towards centre half forward. McIntosh can't mark. Turley has the football. Handball nearly to the advantage of Lewis. He's got it. What can he do? It'll bounce awkwardly in the square, and it is nearly going to go over. No, it's not. Henderson takes it through as Salmon cramps up back at half forward. So a rush behind of the Eagles takes their score onto 16-18. Essendon 7-9. The Bombers have kicked 2 points in this last quarter. The Eagles have kicked 4 goals, 5.
Danaher about to come back on, it would appear, and coming off is Daryn Buick, I think. Anderson kicks in. Salmon and Jackson. This is Johnston. To centre wing, and Danaher, as I said, just back onto the ground. He gets a kick straight away. TD's kick into the middle, 1-on-1 out there. The target was McMullen. Well, Worsfold, plenty of time back to Scott Waters. Keen to get into the action. He's sat about 2 quarters on the bench. Anderson in front. Sumic applies the tackle. And that will not be holding the ball, says umpire Rowan Saws, but it will be a bounce. Greg Anderson's stats, though, still pretty good. Had a few kicks himself. Sumic, how do you stop him? Considine. Watson. Centering kick by the veteran, intended for another one, and Terry Danaher didn't find him long back on the ground. Danaher, not a good kick. That's been a feature of the play today. Some of the kicking has been rather poor. Derek Kickett, outside 50. No one there at all for Essendon. And the kick floats through for only one behind.
1 goal forward of Derek Kickett.
7 minutes 40 left in this match. Waterman will kick in. 114 plays 52. And it will mean today, of course, that the Eagles, undefeated in Perth this year, the Bombers have a crucial game next week against Hawthorn at Waverley.
Kick in goes to Kemp. Kemp plays on quickly. Left foot kick. Lands just inside the boundary line. And it's taken over. by Djakovic. He's not too happy. Obviously, he thought he may have kept the ball in the field of play, but a boundary throw in. Right half forward for Essendon. And Madden beaten for it. Wanganeen, who was terrific early, but has been shut right out of the game in the second half.
Yeah,
Gets the free kick.
Kemp's done a pretty good job on him.
Wanganeen from right half forward, drop punt kick to the goal front. Punched away back there by Waterman. Ball comes to Waters. Hand pass not really all that good, but they're there in numbers again. 2 or 3 slick hand passes, and it finishes with Lamb. Lamb's kick to half forward. Punched away by Thompson. O'Donnell to Watson. Watson sidestepping. Back to Thompson, and he gets around Lamb. Hand passes into Izzard. Izzard looking to give it off. He does in the finish to Considine. Considine's pass looks out wide for Madden. Punched away by Djakovic. And when you're 18 and the other fella's 35, have a look at the difference. That young fellow's a champion in the making. And the ball finishes now with Jackson. Jackson on centre wing. A left foot kick by that player up towards full forward, but getting back and taking a good mark as O'Donnell. He hand passes away to Watson.
Watson's kick up to the centre wing position, knocked away by Pios. Kemp streaming down the boundary line, past Considine and picks out Wilson, but he just got a little bit underneath it. The pass not as perfect as it looked off the boot. Thompson to Johnston. In the road is Heady. Izzard just inside the square. Who was that to? You'd have to ask the question. Eagles there are plenty. No Essendon player within Curry.
I'd start for a player count now. Stop the game and count how many Eagles players are on the ground.
Heady to Subiaco.
Well, it certainly appears that way, Robin. That's what happens when one team's prepared to run and the other one just stands back and spectates.
Now, Peter Subiaco right on the boundary line, and I think I can say Ross's non-preferred side.
Yes, although knowing the way he kicks sometimes, he'll probably slot this one through.
He's kicked 6 goals, what, Ian? 7?
6-5.
6-5. See, a reasonable sort of an effort from there. So 6-6 now to Peter Subiaco, and he's being booed.
No, I think they're booing the goal umpire. I think a few of the people behind the goal thought that was a sausage.
I don't think Peter Subiaco saw it.
Yeah, I think so too. So most full forwards do, don't they?
Speaking from experience.
I guess they do they?
You're looking rather smug here at the moment too, Ross.
Another number 4, starring for the Eagles. Thompson. Just up from the back pocket. Target is Salmon. Marking in front of Jackson. Salmon looking for 50 metres. No, there's not going to be any 50 metres applied there.
And the urgency's certainly gone out of the game since that onslaught at the start of the third quarter by the Eagles.
Well, Essendon still haven't goaled in this final quarter. They've kicked only 3 behinds. The way the Eagles' defence is playing, they haven't really looked like getting. McKenna from Pios. Dwayne Lamb. He's done particularly well since he came on. Started on the bench. Kemp in front of Wanganeen. The latter looking a little tired. Jackson traps it well. Past Salmon. On to Waters. Dwayne Lamb can kick a goal. In fact, it hit the behind post, so the decision will be out of bounds. 4.5 minutes left in this match. And we really do have to congratulate the Eagles going through the season undefeated in Perth, either here at Subiaco or at the Wacker. Salmon unloads with a wild sort of a hand pass. Considine, perhaps luckily for Essendon on the end of it, and he's kicked long. Brennan underneath it, Somerville over the top. Loose ball to be won on centre wing. And again the Eagles coming away. Is that still in play from Brennan's kick? Yes, it is. Matera takes the mark. Centering kick from him. Jackson nearly threw it out to Lewis, who gets tripped and must get a free kick.
Well, I think if he hadn't have been tripped, he certainly would have got the distance. At least now it's a bit of a risk as to whether he can get the distance. But
yeah, it was a good
kick.
Well done by Kickett, Robbie, you're right. Just conceded there.
I've admired Chris Lewis's game. He was
down early, wasn't he?
Well, he was tagged beautifully by Hurd, but showed a lot of very, very good self-discipline. Not attacking the player at all, and he's just got back into the game and had about 16 or 18 possessions.
Yes, he has, yep.
And it's been good. Waterman, short pass to Waters.
It just should not happen. I mean, if they're just prepared to man up, it's almost pathetic, really.
And it's really rubbing salt into the wound, though, isn't it?
Well, it's an indictment on the whole team, Robbo. If someone like Terry Danaher's running his heart out all over the field and other players just motionless.
Waters hooks the kick into the opposite pocket, and the mark, maybe a little lucky, has been paid to Salmon. Salmon has been reasonably good. He's had quite a lot of possessions, 14, 15 kicks and 7 hand passes, and that was his 12th mark. And that kick going wide out to half-back has been marked out there by Terry Danaher. So with 2.5 minutes left, Danaher brings the ball back in towards centre half-back. It goes over that position. Thompson, now he's got a player in support running. It's Johnston, and the ball bounces nicely for him. Away he goes to Wizard. I thought he had pace until I saw blokes like Pios and Matera, and they run him down with ease. That kick has been marked by Brennan. Brennan's kick wide to half-back, and Pios marks. So the Eagles just toying with the opposition now. That kick wider still, marked by McKenna.
Guy McKenna right on the boundary line. Waterman. They're a very fit combination, aren't they?
My word.
It's like a lot of beating here or at BFL Park in the finals. Make no mistake about that. They give the premiership a real shake. Pike, the half-forward. Got a mark to Heady. No, O'Donnell. Watson. Torpedo punt kick to the outer side. Long. Got a mile in the air. Got launched. Pios will duck back. Was McMullen. And the boundary line may be too close. He's kept it in play. Bradley Plain. Out of bounds now. Well, players will be feeling very, very tired.
Long has had 3 kicks in 1 hand pass.
16-19 to 7-10. He's had a short stint on the bench, but it hasn't been one of his great days. And again, he's got a few teammates, I suppose, Robbo, we could put into the same category. They've had their tries, Thompson and Matten, etc. But they've really been outplayed, especially after half-time, haven't they? Lamb.
How was that handball then? Terrific.
Not a great kick. He's had better today, Dwayne Lamb. Maybe intended for Brett Heady, but it is out of bounds in the final minute of play.
The boys down in front of us having a little bit of a to-do, Ross.
Oh, no, just Chris Lewis has brought Shane Hurd right across the other side of the ground, just keep him right out of the play. A little bit comical.
Yeah, Shane Hurd obviously just trying to make sure he's with Lewis right up till the end. McIntosh kicks the Eagles up to the goal front. Essendon have got 2 players back there on Sumich. Handball goes from O'Donnell, breaks down. No, little good fortune for the bounce, but Thompson, who has never given up right from the early minutes of the game. Thompson comes away, and Lewis nearly takes a spectacular mark. Hurd is there, he's got him. The kick rebounds. Chance for Essendon now in the centre of the ground. Bradley playing a little slow. The kick towards full forward, no mark taken. Punched away. Now the Eagles are under a little bit of pressure at half-back. They'll get clear. Bounce is good for Kemp. Good tackle long. Waters is there. And the Eagles certainly with persistence now. Lamb marks. Away he goes to Waterman. And the siren sounds. It's all over. The West Coast Eagles have won again here in Perth. And this time they've won convincingly 115 to 52. 16-19, 115 to 7-10, 52. And Peter Sumich has kicked 6 goals this afternoon to take his tally to 91. And there's Dale Kickett and Guy McKenna shaking hands with each other. They may have played a little bit of football against each other over here in the West Australian Football League.
Yes, they played together at Claremont, I think it would have been.
Tim Watson, sportsman to the last, shaking hands with Brett Heady. Essendon certainly with a chance at half-time, but after the break, Essendon only kicking 3 goals. 3 goals, 3 actually to be precise, and they didn't go at all in the final quarter. So the heat and the persistence of the Eagles taking its toll on the Bombers, and they now face a crunch game next week at BFL Park when they front up to Hawthorn. The Eagles will play Fitzroy away. On form, you would suggest that they should win that. And of course they will finish on the top of the ladder, and in the first final they will play either Hawthorn or Geelong. That's the way it looks at the moment. But before a capacity crowd here this afternoon, the Eagles coming through season 1991 undefeated at home at either the Wacker or at Subiaco, and we should congratulate them for that. A magnificent effort. Jakovic going to the dugout. I think we might go to our dugout too. We'll take a break and we'll be back here at Subiaco in just a moment.
Tuesday, Tuesday, an eyewitness to murder.
That boy knows something.
But he's hiding the truth inside his mind.
The witness can't speak.
And the killer has him targeted for death.
Why is this happening to us?
Will a child survive to put a murderer behind bars? In the heat of the night, right after Beyond 2000, 9:30 Tuesday on 7.
Cleaning your car can be a time-consuming exercise, with exercise being the operative word. The car cleaning professionals come to you, to your home, work or office, and thoroughly clean your car inside and out. Choose from our range of cleaning services, like the $15 wash, windows and vacuum, the $25 mini detail that includes everything inside and out, and the works for only $45. That's a full detail with a complete super polish. Call the car cleaning professionals on 849-7566, and remember, we come to you.
When it's right, well, you know it. Look, we've all got egos.
And this week, a Just Jeans exclusive. Pure cotton polos, less than $30. The classic shirt, under $40. And of course, jeans, the choice is yours. All these for under $60. All this week at Just Jeans.
Just Jeans.
The only thing these guys have in common is their driving ability. Tina Yothers of Family Ties stars in the premiere of Driving Academy, Friday on 7.
Well, it certainly was a convincing victory, Ross, in the finish, wasn't it? Kicking, 10 goals, 10 in the second half to only 3 goals, 3. And I suppose when you try to find 3, 2 and 1, when it's difficult to do that, it certainly means that you've had a terrific, even team performance.
Yes, you look right through the lines there, Robbo, you're quite right, and there's many players you could put in 3-2-1. Pios certainly justified to have indicated his selection. Mateer on a wing of 20 and 5, Pios with 18 and 9. Even Irving on the ball went off late to 13 and 4. And Sumic at full forward, he's kicked 6 goals. The highlights here, and this sort of run is what's really decimated a lot of sides over here on the firm surface. And their preparedness to run in the first place, but then supplementing that with great pace, they've done very, very well. They've always got numbers around the footy, Robbo, haven't they?
Well, I think that what we've seen in the key Hawthorn teams that have been dominant over the last 8 or 9 years, that's exactly what they've done, isn't it? You know, they've had, wherever there's been 2, there's been a third and a fourth option for them.
When you looked at the players like, say, Russell Green, who initiated the run from the back pocket in those Hawthorn premiership sides, and they'd be running all the way down the ground and they're just streaming through the lines.
Well, that was one of the players that I thought was a key player today, Waterman,
yeah,
who was excellent on that last line of defence.
When you think their disposal is good quality stuff, when earlier on the game a lot of the kicking was ordinary, to say the least, their disposal was more effective, and here the sort of run they've got and the options they have is just terrific.
Do you feel that it might be the end of an era for Essendon, because they've got a couple of players like Simon Madden certainly struggle in the conditions, and Terry Danaher with Watson?
I don't think there's any question, and when you look at the stats here, just getting back from that though, Rob, I mean, you really look at their mid sort of players now, with the older players retiring. The players coming through are just very fair, I think.
Right, well, the other game being played today was at the Western Oval, and that was between Footscray and Melbourne. And with a reminder that viewers in 2 states, Adelaide and Melbourne, are going to be taking a replay of that game when we finish here at Subiaco. We're going to be showing you the final score now, so look away if you don't wish to see it. It's coming up right now. Right, let's check some of the individual player statistics now in the time that we have left. And first up, crowd incidentally this afternoon, 38,000, and they really enjoyed themselves with the Eagles on top. Paul Pios, a late inclusion in the side.
Yes, I think he did very well there, and even tackles there with 3. Just put great pressure on. His run was terrific, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I thought Izard was quick, but when you see a bloke like Pios run him down, he must have some pace over the 10 or 15 metres. But 18 kicks, 9 hand passes, 8 marks. He certainly was a very, very good player for the West Coast Eagles. Essendon, on the other hand, really struggled. Here's a player who did very well for them, Mark Thompson. And I mentioned at the end there that he certainly is a determined young man, Mark Thompson, and under the pressure that was there all day long, he stood up quite remarkably, I think, with 27 possessions.
And he's also standing a player on most occasions that was much taller than he was. But in material, looking at one of those players who is quite quick. Robbo, wouldn't you agree with that too? With 20 kicks, 5 handballs, 6 marks, and his run and his precision running and his kicking is terrific.
And of course, Paul Salmon, Well, I think he can put his hand out and take his dough quite consciously.
Particularly early, Rob, I
kicks,
thought, yeah.
seven handballs, 12 marks, and his hit-outs, well, he had 20 hit-outs as well, and he was a very good player for Essendon.
And Dwayne Lamb, who started on the bench, and Therese May only had a small percentage of touches in that first quarter, and one in fact, but he's finished up with 15 and 10, just showed the way he continued on. That second half was a good one by Dwayne Lamb.
And Terry Danaher, of course, I've been a little critical. I suppose it's a very, very hard thing to do, but you can't beat youth and enthusiasm, and Terry Danaher, probably the kicks that he did have were effective, but certainly he was under a lot of pressure because the Eagles players were onto him very, very quickly, but he still finished up with 20 possessions.
Right, thanks Ross and thanks Robbo. Next week, two beauties to finish round 24, and at the top of the table there, Essendon and Hawthorn. That will be at VFL Park. Geelong and Collingwood, those two games having a vital bearing on the final makeup of the six. Fitzroy will play the West Coast, Richmond to play Carlton, and St Kilda will take on Sydney. On Saturday night, we have a game up at Carrara between Brisbane and Footscray. On Sunday, Adelaide plays North Melbourne, North trying to get back into the five, and of course Melbourne has the bye. So two great games next Saturday, Essendon and Hawthorn, and Geelong and Collingwood. We hope you've enjoyed our telecast this afternoon from Subiaco. It's a very warm day for football and a great win to the year.
The 1991 AFL Premiership season, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, BP, Westpac and CUB.
A story so incredible it couldn't possibly be true, but it is. I love you. They became husband and wife and had 7 children. Trouble is, he's already married. We can keep our secret.
Double standard.
A judge with 2 wives, 2 families.
Don't you remember me? I'm the judge who married you.
And it's all about to blow up in his face.
He's my father. What are you saying?
LA Law's Michelle Green in the most sensational scandal to hit television this year.
Judge, exactly how many children do you have with her?
Presented by Maggi.
Double standard.
Wednesday.
Off interstate this week? All over Australia, thrifty businessmen know the smart way to save money. Feel the power of the big V6 motor. Experience the luxurious interior of the fantastic new Mitsubishi Verada. And everyone in the thrifty fleet has been fitted with a state-of-the-art hands-free car phone. And as a special introductory offer, you can drive the new Mitsubishi V6 Verada from as little as $90. Yes, $90 a day. So, don't pay more. Be smart. Be thrifty. See you at the airport.
Getting warmer. No, cold.
You haven't thrown it in the rubbish again. I told you we keep the empty Dynamo bottle.
But when things are old, you chuck them out, surely.
Careful. Dynamo liquid comes in a refill pack. When the bottle's empty, you refill it. I'm trying to save money. Look.
I like this game. Cold again.
Save money with new Dynamo liquid refill.
It's tough enough driving through this without having to get soaked just as you finally make it home. Well, why should you? When it's so easy to install a B&D remote control opener. Zap! Up goes the door, in goes the car. The rain's outside, and we're home and dry. Any other way would be absolutely uncivilized, wouldn't it? We're right. Behind the B&D.
Call 271-2500 or your nearest B&D dealer.
Looks like we'll be seeing a lot more of you.
The more I see you, the more I want you. Somehow this feeling just grows and grows. With every sigh, I become more mad about you, more lost without you.
Is this family of chimps smart enough to beat the humans? Or will Spitter from Fast Forward outsmart them all? Find out on the main event tonight.
Well, Chief, Agent 59...